do real quick on the calling too. So why don't we have somebody role play? Who's Victor, Joe, and then Cody? Who's had a bad prospect, a hard prospect that they can think of, and they can role play the prospect.
You guys want to sit any farther apart from each other?
Andrew, shut up.
Victor and Joe, can you guys think of any difficult prospects you've had? Who can role play a hard prospect? I'll just like push it forward. Everyone's prospects are really easy. They just all schedule appointments.
No. Yeah, I have one. I have one from this morning.
Okay. All right, Cody, why don't you be the salesperson?
Okay.
So yeah, when you're ready, say ring ring, and then Joe, you're acting as the prospect. Cody's going to be the scheduler.
Okay.
Ring ring.
Hello?
Oh, am I the person?
You're the salesperson. He's the
Okay.
prospect.
Okay, ring
And we're doing a
ring.
role play, and then we're going to critique.
Okay, ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, this is Cody. I'm calling about your house over there on Main Street.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
No, I'm sorry. I know. My name's Cody. I know this is completely out of the blue. I was just calling. I own a couple rental houses near your area, and I was just calling to see if you'd ever considered selling or possibly hearing an offer on yours.
Okay. Well,
I'm
did
sorry,
you
they're doing
see?
it with me. It is
Sorry.
What?
Does it say that the house is for sale? Did you see anything?
No, we were just driving around. We kind of drive around. Your house looks like a house that we'd potentially like to, purchase. Are you interested in selling?
I've thought about it. Me and my wife talked about it, but where did you get my number?
Yeah, great question. I have an assistant that I give them the addresses, and she looks them up on the public records or something like White Pages or something like that. So you're interested in selling? Could you tell me a little bit about the house?
It had crossed our minds. We had talked about it. We've just been in the area for a long time, and we're looking for something new. But do you guys have maybe like a website or something we could look at? This is just kind of.
That's great. I can definitely send you a text with a little bit more information about me. But like I said, I just own a couple rentals in like the Maryland, Virginia, and DC areas. So if you're interested, I'd love to get some more information about your house and give you an offer if that's something you're looking to do.
Okay. Do you have an offer that you could give me on the house?
I can definitely give you an estimate over the phone, but I need to know a little bit more about the house. It could be totally gutted on the inside and I wouldn't know. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, just tell me a little bit about the house and we can definitely get you something going.
Okay. Well, it's 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bath.
Okay, why don't we pause there?
Okay.
Yeah, you're a good prospect, Joe. Victor, what did you think? How did you think that Cody did? And then let's get Joe's input too.
I think the questions were great, and she wasn't too pushy or anything like that. But honestly, I don't think there was a lot of resistance on Joe's part. Like at first, yeah, but then she managed to ease into it and just get talking, and that was great. I think they were both.
Yeah. And Joe, how did you think that she did? What did you like or not like?
No, I liked how she stayed calm and cool throughout the call. Was able to answer the questions in a nice way. Obviously, it was uncomfortable. I could tell it was the call was kind of she wasn't 100% comfortable, but so I didn't feel like bombarding her with more questions or doubts or whatever. But it seemed really nice. She dealt with it really good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought you did a good job. Joe, I thought you were a good prospect, just realistic, just one who's sort of skeptical and sort of just trying to control the conversation, and then you were nicely veering it back on track. So what did you notice, Victor and Joe, that she did every time that she responded to a prospect question? What did she do?
She asked me a question.
Yeah. right? Because who was controlling the conversation more in that scenario? And I don't even, yeah. What do you guys think? Who was controlling it more? And Andrew, you can participate too.
Like, Joe tried at first. He tried to
Yeah.
be part of the call, but then the way she asked the questions, and she kept asking the questions. So that's the part. She was able to take control of the call, just by asking more questions
Yeah.
and being sure that she was asking and she was asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think Joe, like you said, Victor, I think Joe tried to kind of control at the beginning, but then I think through the nicely handling all the questions, and it was in a very nice way, non-confrontational way, Cody was able to take control, I think, by the end, or at least get as much as she could in this scenario. Yeah.
I was thrown back by the website question.
Yeah, well, so think about it, right? So if you're a local investor
Yeah.
and you own a few rentals,
I wouldn't have a website. That's why I usually
I don't.
do it.
I actually. I don't have a website.
Yeah.
I'm just. I own a few rentals, and I just saw your house, and just repeat the same thing.
Okay.
Saw your house. I called you up. My girl works in my office. You know, looked you up on white pages or whatever. I just gave you a quick call to see if you wanted to sell. Have you been considering it, or just kind of not really, or what were you thinking the timing was on selling? You can sort of
They go
start
over
asking other questions,
yeah.
right? Or so has the house been updated recently? So you can also ask a specific question like that too, because
Good point, yeah.
you never were able to get them talking.
Yeah.
And you were just kept saying, kind of, tell me about the house.
Yeah,
you know?
I kept going off and telling me about the house.
Yeah, you
I
can
could have
just
asked
do
them
different
specifics.
types of questions, you know. So have you owned it a long time, or did you just buy it?
Mhm.
Just anything that gets them to start sharing stuff, you know. So you can alter the questions you're asking when you're responding to the objections to see what maybe something opens them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I would say, you know, I think you did a good job going back to sort of, like John said, going back to, you know, so you're interested in selling, kind of always bringing it back to the point of the call, not letting it meander. And then on the, you know, maybe if somebody brings up kind of the who are you, do you have a website type thing, you can say something like what John said, and then maybe even say, you know, I own a handful of rentals, and most of the time I end up, the rentals that I end up purchasing are through, you know, this sort of method where I you know, get familiar with the neighborhood, and then I'll reach out to other homeowners in that neighborhood, and I've done this many times, and that's my sort of normal methodology, and then sort of that way it's sort of like, oh, you, like other people have sold you your house through
Doing
this way.
way. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Making them comfortable with the process.
Yeah, a little more explanation
Yeah.
about it, you know, because that's kind of what all these questions, that's what they're kind of trying.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
like,
they just want to be more comfortable with who they're talking to, and
Yeah.
that this is like a real thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's a process of them acclimating themselves to what's happening and feeling comfortable with it. So yeah, I think it's good to just create more of a story
Yeah.
around it, you know, whatever you want to say about that. I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, one critique I would have is you did switch a little bit from the I to the we.
I know. I
Right, and
forgot
Joe, we
about
talked about that yesterday.
I was like, shoot.
Yeah, you just want to stick with I, right? You just want to. You just have to imagine that you're just a local person. You own some houses. You drive around to your houses that you own, and
Yeah.
you see houses you want to buy, and you call people up.
Mm-hmm.
So you always keep that ID in your head, and then that way, when you answer the questions, if that ID is in your head, you'll know how. It'll just be natural how you respond.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I thought it was good, and yeah, and like Joe said, you know, staying calm. Like all these objections, right? Like, there's only so many objections they can give us, and Joe gave you almost every one, pretty much, that we're gonna get, especially at the beginning of the call. So, like, you know, it's not that hard to get comfortable with 5 or 6 objections and how to handle them, but you just want to have a stock answer.
Mm-hmm.
And nice things too that you did with like, oh yeah, that's a great question. Like you want to agree with their objection if you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, well, so when Joe's, if someone's like, you know, oh, well, what's your offer? Absolutely, that's actually exactly why I'm calling, is to tell you what my offer is. Definitely, tell me about the house. Right, so you're agreeing with, like, it's not objection handling, you're sort of objection accepting and using that to move to the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said, what the fuck was it? So yeah, I think it was just as simple as great question.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're sort of agreeing with it, right? Like, oh, how'd you get my number? Well, that's a great question, actually. Because it is a little strange to just call someone up, you know, you don't know. I actually do have a girl who just works part-time in my office, and she's just an expert at it. I don't even know what she does. And you can do a whole story, you know, about it, you know, that makes them, oh, okay, like that makes sense. I understand. That's like a normal thing. I'm comfortable talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so I thought you did well with just that little great question. Should we do you want to do one more of these maybe, and then we can?
I think that's good. I don't know if Muffy, do you want to play any portion of that phone call?
Sure.
Do you think that's worth playing? We can do a role play. Andrew had a good call.
Okay. Yeah, if you think that'd be valuable.
Said no.
Okay.
And then he managed to kind of get her to schedule an appointment.
That's good. Let's do that, and then Andrew, do you want to? Can you also remember it enough to be the prospect?
Basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the prospect for
Yeah.
that
So
call.
wheel yourself around, and then why don't we have Joe? If you're all right with it, why don't we have you be the salesperson? So just like what Cody did, Andrew will be the prospect. And was this a cold call though, or a warm call?
Warm call.
But I guess you can
But
probably
it's
position it like a cold call, right?
We didn't talk to her in months.
Okay.
She had called in from a voicemail blast, but like she was just like no.
Okay.
Like she didn't really. It was kind of like a cold call.
All right. So just do it your normal cold call, open, Joe, and then
Okay.
just position it like
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, just say ring ring, Joe.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi Andrew, how are you? This is Joseph. I was just giving you a quick call about the house over on 123 Fake Street.
Oh, we're not selling that one.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just calling. We were just driving by the neighborhood. I was on my way to over to one of my rental houses and just drove by the house and just wanted to see maybe if you'd entertain the idea of me making an offer on the home.
I don't know. You're like the 10th person that's called us about it, and we're not really selling it.
Okay. Have you spoke with anyone recently about it? I don't know. I've never heard. someone say
That's a little tough. I think the initial objection handle was decent when he said I don't want to sell. I think a lot of times we're just going to get that knee-jerk reaction on these cold calls, where someone's just like, no, go away. So even if you're just kind of repeating it with a little more explanation, like you did, yeah, I know it's a little strange, like almost like they're just saying treat it almost like they're saying like why are you calling?
Yeah.
Which kind of you did, right? Yeah, I know it's a little weird. I'm sorry, it's a little out of the blue. I own a couple rental properties. I was driving around. I asked the girl in my office to just try to find your phone number. Must have found that on White Pages or something, and just giving you a call. Just to see if you would ever consider the possibility of accepting an offer on your house. So I thought you handled that well. And then, the second time you said no, though, that is tricky. So what did you say in that scenario?
So I said, oh, okay, and you're not even interested in hearing like what her offer would be? And then she's like, okay, well, what's your offer? And then I was like, okay, well, I can let you know.
All right, so you went negative on it, basically, to some extent.
Yeah.
So you're not even interested in hearing what her offer would be?
Yeah.
I think that's a decent way to try to handle it. You're asking kind of the same question over and over again, different ways.
Yeah.
And you're just making it like, another way is like, are you sure you wouldn't even be just like curious to hear, like what an investor like me would pay? It just takes like 2 or 3 minutes on the phone.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like that one more comeback, So like the first time they say no is just to take it as like a why are you calling?
Yeah.
Like a who are you sort of thing, and just give more background. The second time they say no, I think it's good just to do something like a curiosity. Like, are you sure you wouldn't at least just be curious? Just to hear what an investor like me would pay, just so you know? Maybe it was more than you think. It would just take a couple minutes. And something like that? Or what Andrew did?
Okay.
So why don't we take it from there? So Andrew, give him the second. So Joe, we're doing the second no here.
Okay.
And then take it from there. Well, actually, or do you want to do... Let's start from the beginning again. And then Joe, keep it consistent with the I.
Okay.
I think you did it. I think maybe you did one we. I can't remember. It was pretty much all
I said we, and I changed it to I right after.
Okay. And then remember, we don't give the house number, right? We just give the Fig Street or Main Street or Apple Street. We don't give the street number. Just do it from the beginning again. Say ring ring, and then we'll do the same kind of thing.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello?
Hi Andrew, how are you? This is Joseph. I was just giving you a quick call about the house over on Fig Street.
Oh,
And,
no, we're not selling that.
okay. I was just giving you a quick call. We were just driving by. I was just driving by in the neighborhood, and I saw the house and I liked it. and I thought, I mean, I'd just give you a quick call and see if you'd maybe entertain the offer, the idea of me making an offer on the home.
No, you're like the fifth person who's called us, and I've told them all we're not really looking to sell for the next like 10 years.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you have any idea, I mean, of what your house would maybe go for? The market, I mean, is as high as it's ever been. I mean, I could give you an offer. It would only take a few minutes.
What's the offer then?
Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I'd love to make you an offer. I mean, obviously, I've never seen the inside of the house. It could be completely empty. It could be burned down on the inside. I don't know. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to make an offer without knowing just a little bit about it. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
3 beds, 2 baths.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Okay. And is it in pretty good shape? Has it been renovated recently?
It's in real good shape.
It's in good
Look,
shape.
are you
Okay.
gonna? When are you
about-
gonna make the offer? I have to go here, and I'm walking into the grocery store here in a second.
Okay. So yeah, let me just take a look real quick at what house has been going for in the area. All right, just give me 1 second. And then, do you have any idea of what they've been going for?
I think my neighbor sold for like 500 a couple months ago.
Okay. Because yeah, I mean, it looks like prices are are all over the place. Anywhere from 450 to I mean, like 550, 560. So I mean, it really is kind of a ballpark offer. What we could do, I mean, if you have any time this weekend, we're going to be down there Saturday morning. I don't know if you would have 10 minutes for us to be able to stop by and be able to take a look, maybe give you a 100% a more exact offer.
So what was the offer going to be? I didn't understand.
Okay, so I mean, like I was saying, it looks like houses are going anywhere from 450 to 550. It's a pretty big gap. I mean, it's kind of hard, obviously, not being able to exactly see the inside of the house.
But you think your offer will be in that range?
I'm sorry?
You think your offer will be in that range? Somewhere between there?
Yeah. Like I was saying, it just depends on the condition of the house. Would you be interested in us stopping by on Saturday morning?
I don't know about that. Let me talk with my wife and I'll give you a call back.
Okay. Do you have any day that you know you're available? I know Saturday. I mean, I just kind of.
Let me. I'll get back to you. I need to talk it over with my wife. We haven't even thought about this yet.
Okay. Would it be all right if I followed up with you?
Sure. You can give me a call in 2
maybe
weeks if I haven't gotten back to you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can stop there. That was good. I liked how you kept going, Joe, at the end. At least, continuing to try to set something up, like coming back with like taking his no as like, oh, maybe that day doesn't work for you. Like, is there a better day? How's like Thursday instead? It's just the one big thing that I thought was missing was just make it clear that like it's 10 minutes. We're gonna come by. We'll see the inside, and we'll tell you exactly what our offer is gonna be. The other properties it's sold for is kind of all over the place. It's like 450, 550. There's some a little below even that range and a little above it. I mean, I think my offer would be somewhere kind of in that range, but I'd have to see it to be sure. But it just takes like 10 minutes to do that. How's Saturday for me to come by for 10 minutes, look at the house, and tell you exactly what I'd offer you? So make it like clear that like this is the range within which I'm going to offer, but I can't tell you where in that range exactly until I see the house. But it just takes 10 minutes. That's all it is. Real quick, I'll come by. I'll look at the inside of the house, and I'll tell you exactly what our offer is going to be. Right? Like exactly what the offer is going to be. Like make that more strong and clear. What they're going to get from the appointment, because it wasn't clear. Like it wasn't clear what he was going to get out of the appointment. You were like, here's the range, and my offer would like be in that range. Can I come for 10 minutes to see the inside? But like, why do you need to see the inside? Just make it very explicit. See the inside, I'll tell you exactly where within that range I can offer you, my offer will be, and that way you'll know. Just be 10 minutes, house Saturday at like 11.
Okay.
And you just keep switching again between I and we, so us and me. Yeah, just keep it I, man. I'm going to come see the house. I'm going to make you an offer. Victor, same with you. Everybody that's calling, I'm going to come to the house. I'm going to make you an offer. I'll tell you exactly what my offer is going to be. You just have to get the I, the me, the mine, and don't switch.
I have a few things.
Okay, good.
So the thing we just went over with like kind of going negative, you didn't really do. When I said no the second time, I think you said, well, like, have you given any thought to hearing an offer or something?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, are you sure you don't want to like at least hear what an offer would be? So that was one, and then one other one was you didn't ask how much was owed. Which, remember, that's like the most important part, and if you haven't gotten to it because you get rushed, you can ask it while you're pretending to look up, and that would be more important to ask than like what neighbors' houses are going for. And then the last thing was I would have given you the appointment if you kind of pushed harder on setting it. You started doing it, but then I made you backtrack to talk about what the offer range was. But when you set the appointment, remember, you want to say like, yeah, it'll just take 10, 15 minutes. We'll be in the area Saturday. How does 2 a.m. work? Like, just assume that they'll set it instead of being like, I think you said once I made you backtrack, you're like, would you be open to like us coming out and taking a look? So then it was kind of like, I don't know. That like gives me a chance to say no. So you just want to be like aggressive about it. Yeah.
You want to assume that they are agreeing to set the appointment up, and you're just now asking if the time works.
Yeah, I think you started doing it that way, but then I like asked like what exactly your offer range was again, and then when you came back to it, you were like a little less aggressive with it.
Yeah. So do the negative way of asking the question, right? So if you call me up and I say, nah, I don't really want to sell, so take it from there. Nah, I don't want to sell.
Okay, so I mean, you wouldn't even be interested in hearing what an investor like me would pay for, would offer you?
That's okay. Try it again though. Like, we want to say like the kind of the curiosity aspect of it, and like, wouldn't you be? Or like, are you sure you wouldn't at least be curious? Like asking it in the negative.
Okay.
Like something. It doesn't have to be those exact words, but something like that. So Joe, no, I don't want to sell.
Okay. I mean, wouldn't you at least be curious just to hear what it is that an investor like me would offer you for your home?
I don't know. Maybe. What's your offer?
Okay. I mean, I'd love to give you an offer right now over the phone. That's exactly why I'm calling you. So, could you tell me a little bit about the house? It's kind of hard to make an offer without really knowing what's inside the home.
Yeah, that's the other thing though is
how many bedrooms?
Yeah. So that's the other thing is you just want to ask the question. You don't want to have a big preamble before you ask the question about tell me about the house. So it's could you tell me a little bit about the house? It's kind of hard to make an offer without this information about the house. So like that's a whole setup of word salad you don't need. Yeah, great. That's why I'm calling. And then also you want to be real quick when you respond after an objection. Like it's you sound a little uncertain with the okay or okay You got to kind of lose that like speech thing. Just be like, yeah, great, absolutely, yeah. Or terrific. That's what I'm going to do right now. Like just real quick and assertive. Like you sound a little uncertain still with the okay after he gives you concerns, okay. And say, yeah, terrific. That's what I'm calling to do. Tell me about the house. Just need a little information. I'll make you an offer right on the phone. Tell me about it.
That I agree. Like the longer the more space time between when they finish asking you or finish their sentence between that and when you ask the next question, the more time they have to think about how they don't want to be on this phone call, right? So like, what's your offer? Sure, let me just get a little information, and then just boom, hit them with a question. You don't want them sitting there like, okay, what am I doing now? Why am I on this phone? Like just keep them engaged. You don't want their mind to wander. You want to kind of keep the conversation moving so they also feel like it's not wasting their time.
Yeah. You have to push really hard at the beginning. That beginning first minute, especially if someone's reluctant, you've got to push really hard to just get them to start talking. You've got to be aggressive with it. Okay. You can't have pauses, hesitations, long lead-ups to questions, uncertainty at all. You've got to be more authoritative at the beginning. Get them to talk.
Do you think it would be helpful to play that call? Andrew's call?
Yeah. Was something you were going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say when he was setting the appointment, he's like, I have to go talk to my wife. I would say, you know, Saturday's a couple days away. Let's just set it up right now, and then, you know, you can talk to your wife, and then we'll give you a call, and then if you have to cancel, you have to cancel. But let's just get it on the books today, and then
Yep.
you can talk to your wife afterwards.
Yep.
But yeah, just try to
Okay.
still set it, even if they have to talk to other people.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, and that's another good objection handling is we can just like how we just do like a placeholder. Our calendars tend to, my calendar in this case because it's me, my calendar tends to really like book up really fast. So why don't we just set a placeholder on it so make sure that I'm free, and then I'll give you a call like in a couple days before just to make sure it still works for you after you've talked to your wife. How's like 10 a.m. Remember that's the other thing is you want to still end on the time. Yeah. Always end on the time. Like how's 10 a.m., how's 9, how's Thursday afternoon. Always when you say the appointment, you end on a date or a time, closing on the time, not closing on if they want to take the appointment or not.
And also one more question: is it our job to give them a call back before the appointment's set, or does Andrew do that, or like how does that work?
It would depend on how in that scenario, it'd probably be up to you guys.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a tentative appointment, which is totally fine, and that's what you should be doing. But it'd probably be up to you guys, I would think,
Okay.
for those to
I
confirm.
just didn't know who confirms.
Yeah, if it was if it's one that you know is already like fully scheduled or whatever, then you've been doing that, right?
It's like kind of a case by case basis. If we assign it out to an agent, they just do it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If it's like Mr. Terry does it half the time, they'll tell me to give him a call if he's like busy, I guess.
Okay, so I guess yeah, so mainly someone else would be handling that with like a firm appointment.
And you can also say something like, you know, if they want to talk to their wife, hey, you know, I usually look at, you know, houses on whatever Fridays. I'm seeing 2 other ones. My calendar does tend to get filled up quickly. Why don't we pencil something in? That way, I think you're kind of also saying, reiterating the fact that this is not as weird as it may seem. Like I'm seeing other people's houses. Other people have agreed to do this with me on that day.
That's true. Yeah.
And so I'm getting booked up. Let's just put it down. Helps kind of, people always feel more comfortable if they feel like other people have done what you're asking them to do.
That's true.
Yeah, that's good. You can even say I'm meeting with a couple of other people in the neighborhood on Saturday, so I'm gonna be right there. Maybe I can put you at the beginning before I meet with everyone else. How's 10?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just normalizes it. All right, we're gonna hear the master in action.
The master. The sensei.
It'd take a little while to find it.
What?
The call?
You said it'll take a while?
Yeah. I mean, I can't like pull it up. Like it'd take
Okay.
a few minutes.
Okay. So do you want to,
What should we do? Do you want to do one more role play while we're waiting for that? or-
Sure.
Okay. So Victor, your turn. And then Cody, you be the seller. So Victor, when you're ready, you say ring ring. And just and
Should I be hard or nice or?
be
Middle?
middle. I think yeah, definitely be a pushover.
Okay, wait.
Hello.
Okay, ring.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Victor. I was actually calling you about your house on Maple Street.
Yeah. What about it?
Oh, nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm just an investor, and I have several properties around the area, so I was hoping to acquire some more property. Well, I was driving by to one of my rentals when I saw your house, and well, I thought about calling you and see if you're willing to accept an offer on it.
There's no sell sign. I'm not really looking to sell.
I know, but this is how I usually operate. You know, I know this comes right out of the blue, right? But that's what I do. I mean, I just have to look up the information and I give proposals to see if they are interested in selling.
Okay. Well, what would the offer be?
Well, to be honest, I've been looking at prices all over the area and they are all over the place. I mean, I've seen houses go for 450, 550, 650. So, I mean, it looks great from the outside, but I really need to know some more details on the house.
All right, let's pause there. Let's pause there. But yeah, I thought the intro was definitely better, Victor. Like you incorporated that, you know, just real simple to the point. You know, you gave the background about like I own a couple rentals in the area. This is how I buy more houses. You know, would you consider an offer? I thought the first part of it was good. You were kind of losing it though, right? Because who was doing most of the talking on that call, especially at the end?
Oh yeah, me.
Right. And what are you trying to do on these calls? What's the point at the beginning?
Try and get them to talk to you.
Right. So are you going to do that by talking yourself or by asking questions?
No, that's kind of what I was going. The next part of that question would be, what can you tell me about the house?
Yeah, but with all that talking you were doing
If you
though.
want me to do it sooner?
Yeah, with all that talking you were doing, these people are going to be impatient when you're calling them.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the middle of cooking dinner, or they're driving or whatever. They answer this random phone number. They want to get you off the phone as fast as possible.
Right.
So as quickly as possible, you have to engage them and get them to talk about something. The house, about how long they've owned it, about something. You have to get them to talk. So that's kind of the preamble thing we talked to Joe about, right? You don't want a long lead up to it. The comps are all over the place. You just want to say, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly why I'm calling, is to tell you exactly what that offer would be. How long have you owned the house for?
50 years.
Right. Wow, that's a super long time. Are you from here originally, or I mean, you could try that tact if they're more, receptive. If they're more like all business, then you say, oh, cool. And like, has it been updated? Like, is it renovated, like brand new inside, or what's the condition like?
I keep it up really nice.
Right. So you can just keep asking, right? But you want to start getting them talking about the house, and you can't do a lot of talking up front. You have to get them talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, thinking about it when my last few calls, yeah, I think that's my main problem.
Yeah, people are just gonna hang up on you. They're gonna be like, oh, whatever. This is too complicated.
Just not enough.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Not that.
Yeah. And don't say property, Victor, or small things. Say house. We want this to be informal, casual. I have some rental houses. I saw yours. I was going to one of mine. Just called you up to see if you would be open at all to considering an
Yeah,
offer.
it's way more casual like that.
Yeah, you want to be very casual, very informal. And then Victor, if you ask that question, so ask me the question if I want to sell. Take it from there. Just ask me if I want to sell the house at that point.
Okay, so I was just wondering if you're willing to accept an offer on the house.
Oh, and also a small thing. Don't say accept an offer. I think say
Yeah.
something about them considering selling, them being open to selling,
Oh,
them
that's-
considering selling.
That's okay. It was
Yeah.
kind
Open
of
to
similar to
receiving,
the
yeah.
original script that I got, but
Open to getting an offer. Accepting an offer. You don't want to say accept an
if you
offer.
were open at all to me making you an offer on your house.
Right. That's different than accepting an offer.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? If you would accept an offer is like you're trying to nail them down to accepting your offer like in your initial first 10 seconds of the call. It's too soon. Would you be willing for me to make you an offer? Right? Like you're offering to give them something, you're offering to give them an offer, not calling to see if they would accept it. You're offering to give it to them. You're giving them an offer. So Victor, let's take it from there. So yeah, Victor, no, nah. I don't want to sell.
Okay, but maybe perhaps you would be considering selling in the future, maybe next year even, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I am in no rush, to be honest. I was just driving around the neighborhood when I saw the house. Would you maybe consider selling in the future?
I would go more the curiosity route like we talked about with Joe and Cody. Remember that? Do the
Yeah.
curiosity one that we talked about. So no, Victor, no, I don't want to sell.
Right, I'll just stay with that for a second.
All right, I'll tell it to you again, and then we'll role play real quick. So Victor, you tell me you don't want to sell. So Victor, I'd love to just make you an offer on your house.
No, I'm not looking to sell right now.
Okay, yeah, got it. No problem. Would you be at least curious, by any chance, about just like what an investor like myself would pay for it? It just takes like 2 minutes on the phone. I can tell you exactly what I pay for it, and then you'll know at least. Maybe it's more than you think.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Right. I mean, so something like that. You can change the words up a little bit. Right. Actually, would just be curious, and then I emphasize brevity a lot too. Right. Like tell them it's just going to be a minute or two. Right. Like you're not going to have this whole long thing. Just give me 1 minute. I'll tell you exactly what my offer is. Then you'll know. Maybe it's twice as much as what you think it's going to be. And they're like, oh, well, all right. Well, what's your offer? Great. Yeah, I'm happy to make you an offer on it. Yeah, definitely. So tell me about the house. Well, I don't know. I just want an offer. Oh, yeah, I'm happy to make it for you. Do it real quick. I just need to know a little bit about just what's the condition like inside. Right? It's like it's like tennis, sort of, right? You're getting the ball and you're just hitting it back to them, hitting it back to them, hitting it back to them, hitting it back to them until they talk.
Quick, rapid fire questions.
Yeah, and see how fast it is, right? And I'm a hammering, you hammer it down their throat sort of a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get off the phone. They're trying to get off the phone. They're trying to just brush you off. All right, tell me your offer and then go away. That's what they're trying to say to you. Yeah, give me your offer and then I'm going to tell you no and then fuck off. That's what they're trying to say to you.
Okay.
So Victor, no, Victor, I don't want to sell.
Maybe would you like to hear whether or not one investor like me would pay for the house? Because it might be a lot more than you think.
Yep. I think that was the idea. Try not to say but, or whatever you want to kind of say and.
Okay.
At the beginning, Victor, no, I don't want to, no, Victor, I don't want to sell. Okay, cool. At least, I can just make you a ballpark real quick on the phone. It takes just a minute, and then you'll know what an investor would pay you for the house. Just what kind of condition is it? That's all I really need to know, and then I can tell you exactly what kind of condition is it. You're sort of just, you're kind of trying to move it along.
Yes.
So you want to always kind of say, okay, great, yeah, definitely, okay, yeah, no problem, or are you sure you wouldn't at least want to hear what an investor would pay?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, but that's the big thing, both for Joe and Victor, you guys in particular. You want to be quick to the point, get the seller talking, get the seller talking, get the seller talking. And you have to be more assertive, both of you still on the phone. Do you have it, Andrew?
Yeah, I forwarded it to him.
So now we're going to hear the maestro.
The maestro in action?
It's definitely a little different because it's like I don't do the normal cold calling.
Hey, this is Andrew. How can I help you?
I thought this showed up as a John Gower.
John who?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might have. I think I just gave you a call here. Is this Helena?
For what?
You pause it.
Yeah, about the house on Round Hill Road in Alexandria. We actually spoke about it months.
Just real quick too, anything random like that, you're gonna get a lot of random shit when you're calling people.
Yeah.
That was just totally random. So just
John Gower.
So just whatever it is, just sort of accept it and just get back on point. Oh wow, it showed up as John Dow. Huh, that's interesting. I'm not really sure about that. So anyways, I was just calling. And then get back on track, right? Or my goldfish just died. I can't talk. Oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was just giving you a call about. You real quickly just sort of acknowledge what they've said, and then you get back on the point. Right? And so you just have to be comfortable with the fact you're going to get random bullshit.
Yeah. Any of those random comments is like a pathway to nowhere. So it's like, it was John Howard. It's like, what? Look, I don't even know what the question was. I don't know what the point is. Obviously, there's nothing to be gained by talking about that. Be like, that's really weird. I'm not sure. Anyway, so.
Right. Then just back on the point, back on track.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
10 months ago, and I just wanted to check back in and see if you still had any interest in possibly selling it.
Oh, well, not right now.
Okay, and you're not even interested in hearing an offer or anything?
An offer? If you could give me an offer without having to come to my house.
Yeah, I can give you a ballpark range. It won't be like an exact.
Oh, you're not even interested in just hearing an offer? That's an easy way. You're not even interested just to hear an offer? Just, out of curiosity? But you see how quick it was after she said no? No, I don't want to say, are you sure you wouldn't at least even? Just right away. Right away.
Number, because we need to see it for that, but I can give you a range just here over the phone.
Okay, what ballparks are you going?
Yeah, so let me just confirm that the info I got here, since it's been a little while. I just want to make sure nothing's changed. It's 4520 Round Hill Road, Alexandria, Virginia.
Right.
Okay, and it looks like it's, how many bedrooms and bathrooms is it? 3 beds, 1.5 baths?
Right.
And could you remind me of just the kind of condition it's in? Have you done any updates, that sort of thing?
No, just, I've had the roof put on but not recently, and air conditioning, heating, and stuff like that. Poured all the carpet out so that you could see hardwood floor.
right? So you see how short she was, right? So you gave him like 3 or 4 really short answers. I just was calling, to see if you, we're still interested in selling your house. Well, what's your offer? Right? Or at first she was like, no, right?
Said no.
She said no.
Yeah.
She said, well, no, I don't want to sell. Are you sure you would at least be curious? Well, what's your offer? Right? Like, they're going to really hold your feet to the fire at the beginning and like hammer you, because you're calling them, you're interrupting their day and imposing on them with this phone call. So they have every right to be a little bit abrasive at the beginning and skeptical and just hammer stuff back to you. And so, but if you can handle those first few objections, then now she's talking. And this is when the call starts, is when they start talking. And about the house is usually a good one, but it has to be open-ended. Tell me about the house. Well, what else about the house? Can you tell me some more? What other important stuff about the house should I know? Just some variant of that question to get them talking about the house.
I thought it was good that Andrew let her talk there. Because she's obviously an older, somebody in the older demographic, talks a little slower. Yeah, I would have been inclined to, after she said the AC and the heat,
right,
to say something. You have to, I guess, really kind of gauge. But he didn't, and then she's like, oh, and I took out all the carpet. She kept going. Which is obviously much. If she's talking, it's better than us talking.
Yeah, so I think with that, once they start talking about the house, then I think you want to downshift and take a step back and leave even a little bit of awkward silence to prompt them to talk more. Because yeah, I agree. It sounded like she was almost done after the first. Well, it's the heat and this and that,
The roof.
and that's it. Then it just like didn't say anything, and she was like, well, also the carpet.
Yeah. That's the maestro for you.
Yeah, sensei. Vintage sensei.
Except in the first level, it's parquet.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And are there?
Andrew, do you think you could have been a little more enthusiastic?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hey,
Cool.
parquet floors, like
I'm
a
sorry.
garden.
I have storm windows all throughout. 36.
36 storm windows. Okay, that's a lot of windows.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. So, are there any issues at all that would need to be like replaced, like foundation, roof, or you said there's a new foundation, like plumbing, electrical, anything like that, any leaks, that sort of thing?
I don't have no leaks or anything.
Okay.
I just recently had my kitchen line redone. Going out of the house now, the kitchen.
So this is only 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the phone call, and so we've gone from her saying I'm not going to sell, and now she's like babbling about the parquet floors and the number of windows, and she's just kind of involved in the conversation now. And it turns quickly. You just have to push through those first, that first 30 seconds, 40 seconds to get them there.
Recently had that done.
Like telephone line, or
I'm sorry?
you're saying you got like the telephone line redone, or?
No, the water line going out of
Oh,
the
okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
I had that done. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm checking here now, and it looks like our offer would probably be anywhere between, well, basically how I'm looking this up is I'm just checking what things have sold for in the neighborhood within the last few months or so. So basically they're kind of all over the place, but I'm seeing anywhere between $350 and $450. The ones going for $450 are the ones that have been fixed up. The ones going for $350 are the ones that could use a bit of work. My guess is somewhere in the middle based on what you've told me. But to give you like an exact number, we'd really need to come out and take a look at it, which we're happy to do. It just takes about 20-30 minutes. But that's kind of the range we'd be at. Is that what you were thinking it was worth, or?
It's a good question, right? Yeah, and he finished with a question. Is that the range you were thinking? Because otherwise, all of that was good, but then you can kind of peter off and be like, we can come out and take a look.
Right.
And then it's easy for them to be like, nah, that's okay, right? But he put it back on her.
Right.
I know it was worth 4 something.
400 something, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like that would be a possibility, but to know for sure, we really need to take a look at it.
Yeah, I know. And this, you know, I've kept the yard up and everything, and it looks, well, anybody walking in says it looks nice.
Well, I mean, I mean, we'd love to see it if that would be a possibility at all. Maybe we could stop by like sometime Friday around 2:30 just to take a quick look and meet with you, and then we can leave you an exact offer once we're there. And
I have appointments Friday, and then I'll be gone the weekend. So.
What about next week? Maybe Monday at 1? We're pretty much open all next week, so.
How about you call me Monday, and we'll see.
Okay, do you want me to put you in for one, and then I'll call you before?
Back on Monday, you know, so you could call me, yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put you in for Monday at 1, and then I'll give you a call before we head out, and we won't head out until I talk to you. But that way we'll just have like a time kind of blocked off for you, and then if that time works for you, great. If not, that's completely fine as well. We can either cancel or reschedule, whatever you want to do.
All right.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. And just one last question here. Did you owe anything on the house, or was it all paid off?
Oh, it's paid.
Perfect. All right, sounds good. We'll give you a call Monday morning. And
you know?
What did you say?
Okay. I said, that's why I want to get my money out of it. It's paid off.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of money there. Okay, yeah, sounds good. We'll give you a call Monday morning, and hopefully we can come out and take a look. And, yeah, we'd love to see what we can do on it.
All right.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot.
It was good, you know. I mean, he pushed hard at the end for the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like, yeah, okay, yeah, just wait, I can't do so. First he closed on the date, right? So you just talk through like, yeah, we can just well, you know, we have to see the house, you know, to do that. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, well, you know, we can come out, you know, and just look at it and make it and tell you exactly what our offer is going to be. And then he just kept talking. So most of you guys are stopping there. Tell you what our offer would be. Throwing it up to the prospect to see if they want to do that or not. He just kept talking. Yeah, so we're actually going to be there. It looks like Friday. How's Friday at like 10? You just you talk through it and close on the date. That's what closing on the date, you know, means. And it's like, well, you know, no, Friday, and then, you know, the weekend, you know. And so you could tell, if you've been doing this a while, that she was then going to try to be like, you know, just call me next week.
Yeah.
So he like almost half cut her off. To be like, oh, okay, well, actually, Monday next week looks good for us too. Before she even like almost finished what she was saying, he inserted himself and said, oh, well, actually, Monday looks pretty good too. To try to get something on the calendar before she was like, well, just call me next week.
And then getting to that point where Andrew was talking about scheduling, moving from the, okay, I'm willing to take an offer over the phone. She went from, I'm not selling, then okay, I'll do an offer over the phone. Then he got her to start thinking about letting us come out. You know, he said, you know, we'll come out, we'd love to see it, and we can leave a written offer with you, right? Like John said earlier, you want to tell them what they're going to get out of it. And I think what he did that effectively there, right? We're going to leave a written offer with you, so you're going to have that. You'll at least know what that's going to be. You know, so you're giving something very specific that they're going to get from the appointment.
I don't know why I jumped to like telling her the offer so quickly. I thought I had like.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I thought I got through it without giving her an offer.
Yeah, she didn't really press you on it.
I
either,
know.
so there's no
I
reason.
don't know why I did that.
There was no reason to really give her an offer range because she didn't press him on it either. So you want to just not mention numbers at all if possible and just get the appointment set up. You can just vaguely say, wow, well, you know, it's kind of, if they press you on it, well, you know, like sales are kind of all over the place, so I'm not really totally sure, but I would know exactly if I saw the house. It would just take like 10 minutes for me to do that. Looks like I'm actually going to be there. I'm meeting with a couple other people in the neighborhood on Thursday. I've got time in the morning. Would like 10 o'clock work?
Maybe I was still like defensive because she initially said no, so I was like,
And
even though
I
I
had
had taken
what's your
control.
offer as well? She asked you that.
Yeah, so I think maybe I like, even though I had taken control of the conversation, I like didn't connect that in my brain.
Yep.
So I was still kind of on the defensive of like, she wants to hear an offer.
Right. And how did he ask about what she owed? What did he say?
Yeah, and do you own anything on the property, or is it all paid off? Kind of like that.
Yeah. And what was he doing when he asked about what they owed? Like where were they in the call when he asked what they owed? So what was he doing like when he asked that? Like what stage of the conversation? Right. Well, he was like kind of had his calendar up and was like typing in like the appointment.
Closing the call.
Right.
the last questions, and it wasn't even like a direct, simple question like, "Hey, do you own anything on the house?" That's it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like the oh, by the way question, right? There's different sales questions, like the oh, by the way question. Oh, and what do you, and what do you owe on it? Or you can even say, oh, by the way. Oh, by the way, what do you owe on it?
Yeah, they're very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, one last thing as I'm typing and I'm sort of half listening. What do you own it? Is it all paid off? No.
You can also, he also did a trailing or
Like, we didn't
question.
emphasize
Joe, go ahead, yeah.
it or make it.
What's that, Joe?
No, I was just saying he didn't really emphasize it or like make it seem that important.
Yeah.
Because like some people are like, well, what do you need to know that for? It's just kind of like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And if someone does say, what do you need to know that for? You can say, well, just making sure that, you know, what my offer would be, what our offer would be, whatever you're saying, what my offer would be, would like be above what you owe to make sure there's like plenty of room there, you know, for you. So that, I was just curious about that, just making sure if you get that. But yeah, exactly. Initially, it's just very casual.
And what did she, what was the last thing that she said before hanging up?
She wants to get her money's worth.
She wants to get her money out of it. Because she's paid it off, she wants her money. So like, in 3.5 minutes, she went from I'm not selling to I want my money. So like, that's a good example of like, whatever somebody's telling you initially on a phone call, there's a very good chance that it's BS. You should assume that it's not true, because she obviously does have some level of interest. She wants to get her equity out. She has a lot of money in the house. So.
Yeah, that's a really good overarching point. You should assume everyone that you call wants to sell. And they're just skeptical and don't trust and don't want to open up at the beginning. And you have to break through that. And if you can break through that, then you'll get an appointment and a good chance of us buying the house. You should assume that every single call. That they want to sell, they're just putting up resistance. You have to just break through. One other question is a trailing or question, which we've talked about, right? Like, and then you can also ask about the mortgage amount that way too, or any other hard question. Oh, so is it all like paid off, or that's the trailing or question, right? Or another way to use it would be like, okay, so like, are you the only owner, or a very soft way to ask any hard question, trailing or question as well. So like the sort of oh by the way question, the trailing or question. These are just good ways to ask questions, especially if they're hard. All right. Well, yeah, we did a lot on calling, which is what most people on here were callers.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.